Witam was wszystkich bardzo serdecznie, z tej strony Roman i zapraszam was na pierwszego streama z tegorocznego Star Wars Celebration. Mamy dzisiaj dwa panele, jakie chcę obejrzeć. Pierwszy z nich zaczyna się za jakieś 8 minut. Jest to panel poświęcony 9. epizodowi i liczymy oczywiście na to, że będzie jakby reveal tego, będzie pierwszy trailer. Jak widzicie, siedzę bardzo po tej stronie jakby, dlatego że tutaj jest przygotowane miejsce dla mojego brata, który również będzie ze mną oglądać. On miał przyjść za 5, także za 2 minuty powinien tutaj być. Udało mi się ogarnąć audio z komputera, żeby on i ja miał na słuchawkach. Jeżeli byście chcieli coś takiego, żebym pokazał na YouTubie, to możecie dać znać, bo to... znaczy to nie jest trudne, tylko trzeba o tym pamiętać, jak to się po kolei robi. I mam wrażenie, że ta muzyka może grać trochę głośniej, bo jest bardzo cicho. Także trochę mniej, ja będę miał to głośno na słuchawkach, ale u was powinno być spoko. Jeżeli mikrofon będzie przesterowywać albo będzie za cicho, chociaż powinien być teraz dobrze, dawajcie znać, bo jest trochę ode mnie odsunięty. I ja go może lekko skręcę, bo mam wrażenie, że gdzieś czasami klipuje. No i co? I będziemy czekać. A, nie przyniosłem jednej rzeczy, mianowicie byłem dzisiaj na konkursie, to też na Facebooku podrzucałem. Wygrałem dzisiaj na konkursie o wiedzę o Unii Europejskiej, który Młodzieżowa Rada Miasta w moim mieście organizowała, tak. I wygrałem płytę Merkfolku Kolowrat w wersji fizycznej, także bardzo, bardzo fajnie. Miałem wam to przynieść, pokazać, ale zapomniałem. W każdym razie, jaki jest plan na dzisiejszego streama? Po pierwsze, jak mówię, właśnie panel poświęcony 9. epizodowi. On potrwa do 19. Przynajmniej taki jest plan, tak jest planowo. Także po tym, kiedy ten panel się skończy, zrobimy sobie z 5 minut przerwy. Ja wtedy ustawię streama, pogramy sobie z godzinę w Gwinta do 20:30, gdyż o 20:30 rozpoczyna się kolejny panel. Tym razem poświęcony czemuś, co się nazywa Vader Immortal. Ja nie wiem, czy to jest gra na VR, czy jest jakby doświadczenie, tak można nazwać, na VR. W każdym razie też to jest właśnie coś VR-owego, coś ze Star Warsami, z chęcią to zobaczę. I co jeszcze? I póki co tyle, jeśli chodzi o ogłoszenia parafialne. Poczekamy jeszcze chwilę, aż nam się to wszystko zacznie. W tle gra muzyka z kinektowych Star Warsów, dlatego żeby po prostu nie było jakichś claimów za prawa autorskie. Ja nie wiem, czy ten stream będzie ciągle lecieć, czy pomiędzy tymi dwoma panelami będą jakby jakieś pierdoły, czy jakiś inny panel, o którym nie było wcześniej mowy, nie wiem. W każdym razie będę chciał zrobić przerwę, jak mówiłem, na Gwinta, ale zobaczymy, jak to wszystko wyjdzie. Także zostało nam 5 minut. No i nie wiem za bardzo, czy mogę tutaj poopowiadać, ale generalnie Star Wars Celebration leci pełną parą i ja już wam mówię dokładnie, jakie tutaj rzeczy mamy. Dlatego, że tak, dzisiaj mamy te dwa panele. Jutro 19:45, czyli dziś pewnie około 19:30 będzie stream. Mamy panel poświęcony rebeliantom, których pierwszy sezon obejrzałem cały, drugiego nie, także ja tam dokładnie, znaczy ogólnie nie oglądałem do końca rebeliantów, nie pamiętam, na którym ja odcinku o sezonie skończyłem. Chyba drugi też oglądałem. W każdym razie będzie panel właśnie poświęcony rebeliantom o 19:45. Później tego samego dnia o 20:30, to bardzo na to czekam, panel poświęcony Jedi Fallen Order, czy tam Star Wars The Fallen Order, nie pamiętam jaki to ma dokładnie podtytuł, w każdym razie jest to gra od EA i Respawn Entertainment, o ile się nie mylę. Następnie 14, 18 panel poświęcony serialowi Mandalorian, też z chęcią obejrzę. 14 znowu 22:30 jest coś poświęconego Clone Warsom, tylko to już będzie, to jest niedziela, prawda? Także tutaj może być tak różnie, ale raczej też obejrzę, bo już mam szkołę tego dnia, bo się u mnie strajk kończy, ale nadal myślę, że obejrzymy sobie, tym bardziej, że to właśnie o Clone Warsach, a Clone Warsy to moja miłość po prostu. Mam bardzo, bardzo, bardzo cieplutko w serduszku, pamiętam. Właśnie Star Wars Clone Wars, naprawdę świetna animacja. O, że jednak troszeczkę ten mikrofon, chociaż ja mam wrażenie, bo jakby tu mi klipuje na interfejsie, a tu niekoniecznie. O, i właśnie przyszedł mój braciszek.
Oto ja, ostatni gimbus, witam.
A właśnie, ostatni gimbus, pisał egzaminy gimnazjalne.
Poszło nie najgorzej, jakby ktoś był ciekawy. Witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie. Widzę, dobry beat leci.
Tak,
Lubię
tak.
to.
Tylko będziesz miał trochę cicho. Nie wiem czemu, bo tak... A, nie słyszysz mnie.
Słyszę.
Słyszysz? Tak bez na słuchawkach też?
Tak, tak.
Bo ja to tak nie bardzo, ja muszę przyciszyć się tutaj na interfejsie, bo tak w tych słuchawkach miałem wrażenie, że trochę cicho było. Panel się zaczyna za 3 minuty chyba. Powinien. Nie wiem w sumie, czy coś z niego leci, bo puszczam tą muzykę, w sumie zaraz zobaczymy. Tylko niech się wyciszy te solo. Dobra, ja zatrzymam, zobaczymy. Coś tam gra na tym panelu, ale tak jakby chciała, nie mogło. Bardzo cicho. I też nie wiem, to pewnie jest jakaś muzyka na prawach autorskich. Na razie niech sobie gra to. I tu już sobie dziabniemy nexta. Kolejny przebój ze Star Wars Kinect. Dobry beat.
Nie było odliczania. Też było odliczanie.
No bo to jest z soundtracku, bo właśnie
No,
tam
głupie.
Han Solo nie znalazłem tego. Hello there. Kamienny, hehe.
No.
Hehehe. Jak coś to można na niego mówić tak jak tam pisze. A to jest kamienny.
Fialar!
Znaczy to tylko bez tego D.
Fialar.
Ale ja będę mówił kamienny.
Fiala... Kurwa, co to jest? Ksywka to jest imię, to jest nazwisko,
Fialar,
to jest
no.
powołanie.
Fialar. No dobrze. General Kamienny. Loader. Dawno tego nie słyszałem, Boże.
No ja też. Największe hity. To imię. Pojebane imię. Skandynawskie jakieś?
Wiesz co, nie wiem jak to, czy nas tu dobrze łapie, ale... Powinno. Dzięki.
O, ja też. Łączę się.
No wiem. No bo na wszelki wypadek to odciszę. To jeśli tak nie będzie miksować, nie słuchać prawie nic na tym streamie. W ogóle, to jest jakaś patologia. Ten stream jest maksymalnie w 720p. Nie wiem kto im to organizuje, ale mam wrażenie, że się nie nadaje.
Streamicie z Indonezji do
skandynawskie
Ameryki.
imię, no. Tylko wiecie co, muszę ustawić sobie bramkę tutaj, bo bez bramki strasznie szumi ten mikrofon. Także załączymy sobie bramkę. I teraz jak będziemy się cicho, to nie powinno szumieć chyba. I zostało nam ile? Zostało nam równo, jest 18, dobra, no to jakby coś powinno zaczynać zaraz. O, bardzo się boję, że ten stream jest tak podejrzanie cicho. To by było dziwne, gdyby ten... Zobaczymy. Ja na razie już nas przerzucę na tą scenę i teraz na normalnym audio będzie dobrze. O czym no panel ma być o 9. epizodzie. To jest jakby, bo to jest pojedynczy panel, później będzie następny i następny panel jest o 20:30 i tam będzie takie coś, co się nazywa Vader Immortal i to jest coś na VR i chcę sobie to zobaczyć. Tam jeszcze po drodze później będą jakieś panele, już ich nie chcę, bo to coś tam z książkami i chyba z tym parkiem rozrywki Star Warsowym, to jakoś mnie tak szczerze nie jara za bardzo. A w przerwie, czyli gdzieś od 19, bo ten panel ma potrwać godzinę, to będzie gwint. Taki jest plan. Fajnie jakby już zaczynali.
No.
Bo psówę mają troszkę.
Halo.
Nie masz odsłuchu, to pewnie będzie trochę źle.
Przeżyję.
Starcie heavy. No start heavy się udał, także... Właśnie nie wiem, czy słyszałeś?
Nie słyszę.
To wczoraj właśnie SpaceX wystartowało Falconem Heavy i odzyskali wszystkie 3 rakiety.
Niesamowite.
Dwie lądowały synchronicznie, zajebiste to było. Widziałeś zdjęcie czarnej dziury?
Tak,
Znaczy obraz, sorry, to nie można mówić, że to jest zdjęcie, to jest obraz czarnej dziury.
Widziałem memy z czarnej.
No ja też widziałem dużo memów z
Jeszcze jest
czarnej
lepszy
dziury.
niż
To jest beka właśnie, czemu? Dlaczego kurwa nagle ludzie robią memy z czarnej dziury? Boże no.
Czarna dziura jest lepsza niż kobieta.
Fajnie, że potwierdzili, że istnieje naprawdę obserwacyjnie, ale no kurwa mać, to już wcześniej były czarne dziury, wiadomo, że coś... Upload, no... No zaczyna...
Czekaj, kamienny jest takim jak ja, on też chyba
Tak,
pisał,
też pisał egzaminy.
Jak poszło?
Właśnie,
My fellow gim...
pochwal się, bo ja to rozwiązywałem swoje z historii z nim, sprawdzałem go, to miałem 90% generalnie, tak jak robiłem bez zero przygotowania. No.
Mi wyszło chyba tak około 70%. Z Polaka wiem, że z zamkniętych mam 100, z Angola mam też 100, jest rozszerzenie, jest podstawy. Przyrodniczych to nie wiem, pewnie chujowo, a z matmy tak nie wiem, tak 60.
Ja sobie muszę jeszcze właśnie z matmy rozwiązać gimnazjalny. Zobaczyć. Chociaż tak jak powiem, bo trochę patrzyłem na ten Przyrodniczy to trudny.
Humor był bardzo przyjemny się. Ale przyrka była chujowa, nie podobała mi się bardzo.
Anglika, podstawa z angielskiego to jak ja pamiętam to jest bardzo, bardzo easy.
Podstawa
Jezu,
była...
czemu to... Robimy tak.
Rozproszyłeś
A, bo ty nie słyszysz ten visor. Ja też nie dobrze słyszę, bo jest ta muzyka trochę głośniej, ale... No, coś ta obsuwa dosyć spora im się robiła.
Kurwa, 3 minuty?
O, dobra, to już coś gra na tym streamie, to... Zrobimy tak i zrobimy tak. O, żeby on na razie było cokolwiek słychać. Bo ja... Ty w ogóle słyszysz tych słów, żeby muzyka grała?
Czuję moc.
Czujesz moc?
Tak, czuję moc. Która łączy i spaja wszechświat razem. Nie, coś tam...
A w ogóle to taki jest taki leak, bo dziś widziałem w internetach, że jest niby leak, że podtytuł będzie The Force Will.
Wow.
Ale to nic nieoficjalnie tak jeszcze, ale pewnie, no na pewno poznamy podtytuł, jestem pewien
Oh
tego.
my god. Ej, Last Jedi wyszedł rok temu? Nie, 2 lata temu.
2 lata temu, no.
2 lata temu. Neutro.
2? Tak, 2, bo ostatnio był Han Solo, tylko Han Solo był w maju. Ja jestem ciekaw, bo chyba nawet jest premiera, w sensie jest data premiery, chyba tak dokładna dosyć, że datowo, no nie? A jeszcze nie pokazałem trailera. O proszę, jest 19 grudnia 2019, już jest jakby, jest już wiadomo data premiera, a jeszcze nie było trailera filmu. Także jest dobrze.
I jeszcze.
No i oby to się zmieniło dzisiaj. Znaczy, szczerze to podejrzewam, że jak już to teaser, tak z 30 sekund max. Że będzie jakaś scena taka długa, gdzie taka wiesz, się zacznie i taki będzie taki nagle i taki i koniec i takie logo i koniec.
Zabawne.
Ewentualnie będą znowu się śmieszkować i powiedzą, no nie mamy trailera, ulotkę pan przywieźć. Wtedy był. O, zaczyna.
Coś się dzieje, o Boże.
Ej, ale jak to jest cicho.
No. Pojebany. Nie jest słyszalny.
Jest słyszalne, ale jest cicho.
Ile nerdów, ale piękny widok.
On your feet and please welcome our host, Mr. Stephen Colbert.
Dobra,
No
ale
wstawaj,
nie wiem, czy to jest mój problem. Czekajcie, bo muszę to chwilę ogarnąć, no bo nie wiem, czy to u nas coś jest.
Jakie wejście.
To raczej nie jest problem u nas.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Star Wars Celebration.
Czemu debilu organizują takie...
Please sit down. You will need to conserve your energy for the exciting hour you're about to be a part of. Save a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Stephen Colbert. I am so excited. I just flew in from Dagobah, and boy, are my S-foils locked into attack position. And if you don't understand what I just said, what are you doing here? Now, you might be saying to yourself, wait, what is Stephen Colbert doing at the Episode 9 panel? I know he is a lifelong fan of Star Wars, but doesn't he do a TV show 5 nights a week in New York City? Doesn't he have a show tonight? How could he be here? Well, let me ask you this. Am I really at this panel right now?
No tak, on używa
Is
mocy
it
jak
just
luk.
as likely I'm in lotus position on the roof of the Ed Sullivan Theater, force projecting myself onto this stage right now?
Tak jest.
Tak jest, czekajcie, nie mam telefonu, masz telefon?
There's no way of knowing.
Bo ja nie wiem, czy to tak cicho jest, dla mnie to chyba cicho jest tak tutaj.
I will become more powerful. He tried. I will become more powerful than you could never imagine. Also, and this is very important, do not try to strike me down, because I might actually be here and that would hurt. I also do have a security force with me, and at least one of them is a no-gree. Again, if you don't know what that means, why are you here? We know that Star Wars isn't just a movie, or a cartoon, or a Christmas special.
Christmas special,
Or a
tak
breakfast
jest.
cereal, or a soap dispenser, or a Pez dispenser. It's
Dobra, chwilę nic nie
not
będzie
even
słyszeć.
just an ice cream.
Dobra, czyli to jest
The
problem.
Death Star that makes your cocktail very fun. Yes, it's all those things, but it's not just that. It's also a place. It's a universe. It's where we go to get lost, to get inspired, to feel understood, to feel like anything is possible. 40 years in, more expansive and diverse than ever any of us can imagine being that young kid on Tatooine, about to take our first step into a larger world. I was once that kid, and on my best days, I still am. Now, a few months ago, my friend, J.J. Abrams, mi compadre, my Soul Cycle emergency contact, called me up and he said, Steve, would you do me a favor? And I said, of course. Why? Because again, he's my friend, and I like to repeat that every so often. But he's also a creative genius who understands the spirit and the joy of science fiction. And perhaps most importantly, because he let me visit the Episode 9 set. I know things. Oh, the things I know. I got to go in the thing, and I saw the place where they were with the people you remember from that place. And you're not going to believe the new things for them theys who usually have other things, but then now they have a new one. This is going to be so much more exciting when we can use nouns. Of course, we're here today to talk about Episode 9, the movie that completes the Skywalker saga. So, let's get this thing started. It is my pleasure to introduce the president of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, and the director of Episode 9, J.J. Abrams.
Dobra, a ja teraz powiem, dlaczego było kamienne przez chwilę cicho. Dlatego, że generalnie ten stream jest cicho. Właśnie ustawiałem filtry, żeby to wszystko podbić. Teraz nawet nie wiem, czy nie jest za mocno to trochę podbite, ale nie, chyba jest dobrze. Tylko ty, Bartek, pewnie słabo słyszysz, bo ja bardzo sobie odkręciłem bardzo mocno tutaj, ale nic na to ci nie poradzę.
Please, let the games begin. Here we go. Now,
hello, Chicago.
Kathy, JJ, obviously this room is electric. It's soaked with gasoline right now. We're just going to light a match. We know how these people feel. They are just on the edge of their seats with anticipation. What is it like for you, for the people who have created this film, to have that first moment of revelation, like the things that you know you're going to give to the audience today, the things they're going to learn? You've done this before. What's this moment like right before you open the present?
Thank you, JJ. You know, the thing I think about all the time is the responsibility we have. And we have it with all of you, and it's something that we talk about every minute that we're involved in making these movies. And this one in particular, I think the little film you saw at the front end, George was saying that this is the third act of a 3-act structure. It is. That's exactly what it is. And we've immersed ourselves in everything George created, talked about it endlessly, and we're so excited because I think what you're going to end up seeing, you're going to be so happy with. We are incredibly excited to show it.
Ja kurwa mam nadzieję.
No właśnie.
And this guy sitting next to me, he cares more than anybody I know.
The sheep.
So.
JJ, we trust.
Well, first of all, thank you all for coming. This is unbelievable to be here with you. I have to say, in answer to your question, Stephen, hello. In answer to your question, I think that but I love you also. The thing is that at this stage we've been so sort of in that focused cave of the editing room and working so hard with a very small group of people. And you're aware, of course, what Star Wars means to so many outside of those rooms. But to come here and to have this kind of warm reception and to be physically, viscerally reminded of what it means is the most amazing and exciting shot in the arm. And like Kathy said, we cannot wait for you to see what we're cooking up.
Okay, so with that in mind, where are you in production right now?
Well, we're editing and we're doing visual effects. When you wrap a movie like this, as you all know and can imagine, the directing doesn't stop, the story creation doesn't stop. So you keep. They actually love each other. They love each other. It's the greatest thing in the world. The process continues, and so we're editing, and things are going pretty well so far.
Well, Kathy, as you were saying, this is the final movie of a 9-movie arc. What's that like? That's unprecedented in filmmaking, to have this one story, over this period of time. As you said, the third, three-act plays, as it were.
Yeah, it is, and I think that what's also fascinating is it's over 40 years. So the context that George was working within, it's 40 years later. And to keep this relevant and meaningful to the characters and to the people experiencing this story, it has to feel like it's of its time. And I think that what we've done is we've taken to heart everything that inspired George, and then I think the inspiration that JJ's brought to this has given it even more depth.
Well, also, this movie, in addition to being the end of 3 trilogies, it also needs to work as its own movie. And that's been part of the fun of it, part of the challenge of it. But this movie, it's about this new generation and what they've inherited.
Ja jestem ciekaw, bo jak tak mówią o tym, tych wpływach teraźniejszości, zaraz się okaże, same pedały. Wiecie, Fini, ten po.
Okay,
tak. A i też w ogóle jeszcze jedna taka rzecz, która mi się nachodzi, bo przy kręceniu trylogii sequeli to nie było czegoś takiego, bo to było wiadomo, jak to się zakończy, a tutaj nie wiadomo, jak to się zakończy i to jest ciekawe.
Can you give us any hint?
Kathy?
Okay, moving on. Moving on. I was lucky.
To się pytam o największe zło i powiedział Kathy.
A few times, and there's, even the little bit I knew Carrie Fisher, I know there's fundamentally no way to replace her as a person or as that person playing the character of Princess Leia. How did you approach filling the void left by Carrie in this movie?
Well, as I've said, we couldn't. And as Chris Terrio, the co-writer, and Kathy and Michelle Rejwan, producer, as we all talked about how to move on, I mean, she was the best. She was glorious. She was amazing. And
ja też jestem bardzo ciekaw, jak to będzie. A Kathy to chodzi o Kathleen Kennedy.
Episode 7. She was the greatest. It was impossible. There was no way. What are you going to do? You don't recast that part, and you don't suddenly have her disappear. And the weird miracle of having had a number of scenes from Force Awakens that had gone unused, looking at those scenes and starting to understand that there was actually a way to use those scenes to continue her story so that it would be her. The idea of having a CG character was off the table. We'd never even want to try. And the idea of saying, well, what if we could actually write scenes around her? So it would be her performance, she's in the movie. And the crazy thing is, and I say this, like emotionally, it's every day it hits me that she's not here. But it's so surreal because we're working with her still. if that makes sense. She's in scenes. She's so alive in scenes, and the craziest
Wow.
part is
O wow, no
Nie,
kurwa, jak
to
ja
jest-
spodziewałem, że będzie CGI
jest
jakikolwiek,
szacunek,
a jeżeli
naprawdę.
naprawdę nie będzie CGI, to
in some scenes with Billy, her daughter, who is in the movie as well. And it's just Princess Leia lives in this film in a way that is kind of mind-blowing to me.
Well, are there... What are some of the differences you can, like what are some of the new things in this film that you can share with us? When last we saw the cast, they were all spread out. You know, when those stories ended, they were not together. They'd been split up. Are they, do we pick up exactly where we left off? Can you tell us anything about how far the stories have progressed?
okej. No spoko.
What I will say is that that the movie doesn't pick up immediately after the last film. Some time has gone by, and what I'll say is that in this movie, and you could tell by that picture, it's the very beginning of it. But this is an adventure that the group goes on together, and this is, yeah.
A chodziło o to, no CGI, w sensie nie będzie Lei jako CGI. Chyba, no tak, tego co Abrams mówi.
One of the great things about the movie, getting to work on it, was the dynamic between the characters. They are just the most wonderful together, and that's the thing I'm sort of most excited for you all to see.
What about your use of CGI versus practical effects or locations, or like, is there can you talk about that at all?
The director, go ahead.
Thanks. I want to tell you so much, but I will say this, that as with The Force Awakens, what we tried to do, despite this being this epic space adventure that takes place on many worlds and in many places, that we did everything we could.
A to musi być przejebane. Mówić o czymś, gdzie nie możesz powiedzieć, musisz mówić, nie mogąc o tym mówić. Trzeba...
Jordan and other places. We did everything we could to have it in camera. One of my favorite things as a kid, and I still remember that visceral feeling at 10 years old, you know, seeing, you know, looking at what I learned later was Tunisia, but it felt like you knew you were in a real place. It was, you know, and to one of the infinite number of brilliant strokes that George had was to tell the story in physical, actual, real locations. That's Jordan, you know, the location.
Wadi Rum.
Wadi Rum, where they shot, you know, Lawrence of Arabia, and you get there and you're just looking around, you can't believe what you're seeing, and it's amazing to have the sort of that kind of beautiful nature as a backdrop for sequences. So we tried to keep it as real as possible, as physical as possible. It was better for the actors, better for the movie.
Kathy, what was the last day of shooting like?
You know, it was emotional, and I can't really give you details except to say that.
All right.
Remember, this is
Were there a lot of
remember,
people
this is
on
the
set?
end
Were there
of
very
a
few
three-act-
people on set?
There were a few people on set, yeah.
There were a few.
Just a few.
Na razie kamienny.
Oh, I get it now. You asked me to come to Chicago to ask questions, not get answers. Okay. Whew. All right, let's, anything else you want to cover before I bring out some cast members? Sure? Cast members. Cast members. All right, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome C-3PO, Anthony Daniels, and R2-D2.
Okej, no dobra, zaczynamy wejście od droidów. Dobry
Największa
dzień.
gwiazda Gwiezdnych Wojen.
Ja też cię nawet nie słyszę. Głośno. A, bo odsłucham. Dobra. Patrzcie,
Might be better over there. Come on.
Anthony, hello.
Hello.
Anthony, you're in every film. 3PO is what binds the films together and surrounds them. What is it like to be a physical embodiment of the Force? throughout all of these films.
I never knew. I mean, I don't know where it is, but yes, what a beautiful way of putting it. But you know, I want to say something first. On tweets today, people were all over the world saying, wish I could be here. And I know we're on camera, so I don't know where the camera is, but whoever is in Australia or all the other countries around the planet, I want to give you a big wave and you're here in spirit, okay?
Thank you.
Don't you think? Because not everybody can be here. So yes, one of the things about, you will notice about 3PO is he is the voice of reason. I mean, you think Obi-Wan Kenobi knows it all.
Yes.
3PO is the one who tells you that you're in danger. You should get out of there, yes? And what does everybody do in 3 trilogies of 9 movies? They say, shut up. Well, I'm here to say, enough.
Dobra, już wiem, o czym będzie film. Rebelia C-3PO.
Sorry.
When you return to playing 3PO, do you ever say to yourself, oh, I wonder if I'll still fit in it? It's like a bride going back to the wedding dress.
Totally like that. And on the first fittings, generally, bit of a squeeze. But then I'm back in the gym. Look at that. I'm on a diet, whatever, and I squeeze back in. Because if I don't, what was really scary in that wonderful little pre-show history film you showed, it had a picture of me with hair as black as JJ's. Be warned, JJ. Yeah, it's being 3PO has all sorts of parameters to it, you know. But I just love the guy, so I've got to tuck inside there somewhere.
If 3PO was real and you could purchase one...
Excuse me.
Excuse me. I know he was real. He was available. No longer available. A discontinued model a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. If 3PO was still under production, would you want your own 3PO unit?
Are you crazy? Look, things like Alexa and Siri terrify me. I was once a sat-nav for the car.
Yeah?
At the next roundabout, turn left, take the 5th exit. Shut up!
Shut up.
How did I know where? I mean, it's true. I actually had to turn myself off. It happens regularly every morning in front of the mirror these days, but you know. Would I want 3PO? I would want, I regard 3PO as my best friend in many ways. And I would genuinely want a best friend who cared for me as much as 3PO does. Leave it at that.
That's very sweet.
Stephen, is this a more satisfying interview so far?
This? All of this is exciting to me. I can't believe I get to be on stage with C-3PO.
I can't believe I'm on stage with you 3. I mean, look at this. This is a fan fest all of our own.
Świetny, kocham go.
I understand you have a book, Anthony, that's being announced tomorrow, and you can't give us the title of the book, okay? Right?
Right.
You can't give us the title.
Right.
But can you give us the title that you wanted to give the book that your editors said the audience wouldn't understand?
He said the public won't understand, worldwide they won't understand. I was very hurt. I came up with this really cute title and they said, no, won't work.
What was the title?
Well, actually, would it be a scientific experiment?
Sure.
They said you would never understand. Are you ready? If you understand the title of my memoirs of Star Wars and you get it, will you cheer? If you think indeed it was a numbnut title and you don't get it, will you boo? Are you ready? And the other people, are you ready? And the people up in the cheap seats, are you ready? The title of my memoirs was Telling the Odds.
Jezu, on wygrał! On już wygrał! On już wygrał!
A czyli jutro będzie książka tego pana, dobra. Ale to nie wiem, jakoś książki tu nie jarają. I siema Sasek.
It's too late. They already printed the cover, which you will see at 11:30 tomorrow. And I will tell you that I actually do like their title as well.
Może zobaczę. Zobaczymy.
Cast member, the long-awaited, much beloved Landau Calrissian Billy D. Williams.
Czekaj, po co tu z Lando Calrissian? Przecież Lando Calrissian już na chwilach chyba nie żyje, co nie?
Nie, żyje! Co nie żyje?
Był tam gdzieś też trochę
Nie było powiedziane, że nie żyje.
A, no dobra.
A to potwierdza, że będzie pieniądze! O Jezu, dziękuję, będzie Lando! O
Moim
Jezu!
zdaniem to tak do końca potwierdza, no ale no, znaczy bo mi się wydaje, że...
Na chuj by go tutaj mieli! Cast members, bring out some cast
no dobra,
members.
No, tak, no dobra, okej.
You're all so sweet. Thank you so much. And there's an awful lot of you, my goodness. Love back to you. Love back to you. You know, I'm a very lucky person. You know, I didn't expect to be in this little adventure. I agree with you. But I got lucky. And I ended up working with somebody that I have a tremendous regard for. J.J. Abrams. I love his name, J.J. Abrams.
To jest jego prawdziwe imię, on nie ma na imię, on ma na imię J.J.
On chyba jakiś opalony jest trochę. Jak to Lando.
And you know, I've been doing this for a long time. You know, I think 60 years I've been doing this. And I've been fortunate enough to work with some pretty extraordinary people in my lifetime. But this is probably I regard this as a real highlight for me. It's true, genuine highlight in my life.
Well, Billy, what was it like to come back to a character after so many decades? Was it like riding a bike, or did you have to? How did you find Lando again?
How did I find Lando again?
Yeah. Was it easy to slip back
Lando
into the
never
cave?
left me.
Bardzo dobrze, to jest dobra odpowiedź. I się ma na
Jaki kolorowny.
There he is. A little, a shade older, but he's still there. He's still hanging in there.
Well, Kathy, JJ, what was it like on the first day, the first time that Billy D. Williams came back?
Jaw-dropping. I mean, I think all of us just kept looking at one another. I know you didn't quite realize just how awestruck we were, but it was amazing.
It was a big group scene, so there were a lot of extras, and Billy came onto the set, and it was like, and it just went silent, and everyone's just like watching, and it was so sweet to see the reaction from the people who were working on the movie. But it was honestly, it was an emotional thing. It really was.
And I will say, the thing that I always love with JJ is that he'll turn to me and he'll go, "Oh my God, can you believe this is happening? Can you believe this is happening?"
Listen, it's nice to have all of this, these accolades and all of this admiration. But when you're doing this kind of stuff, this acting stuff, and to really have an opportunity to work with some really, really wonderful, extraordinary people is something I really enjoy more than just making money. But don't get me wrong, I love making my money. But, just to be able to hang out and play around with ideas and with people like you, Monsieur, and JJ.
Well, speaking of money, Lando
wonderful
is
experience.
not entirely a bad guy, and he's not entirely a good guy either. Like the last time we saw him, yes, he's Han's friend, and he comes to the rescue, but he's a little bit of a lovable scoundrel at the same time. Is he the same guy?
There's a thing called expediency.
Oh, expediency.
You know, when you're in a situation, especially when you're up against somebody like a Darth Vader, you have to, and you own what is pretty much like owning Las Vegas. If you're like a Steve Wynn, you know, kind of an entrepreneur, and you have this kind of threat. Here's a guy chasing after, Boba Fett's chasing after. I have to explain this stuff to people. I don't understand why.
You don't have to explain it to these people.
You know, I get sick and tired of being accused of betraying Han Solo. So,
Never gonna live it down.
look, no, it's like first person singular. You know, all of a sudden I'm talking about me instead of Lando Calrissian. But anyway, he was up against Darth Vader. He had to figure something out. By the way, did anybody die? Nobody died, right? Nobody died.
Nope. He played it right. Yeah. He played it right. He rolled the dice and he won.
So, you know, I had to figure out how to prevent the complete demise of my friend and his friends. So.
Really, in retrospect, the hero of all 9 movies, Lando Calrissian, if you think about it. All right. Exciting. Well, we have more cast members to introduce now. It is my pleasure to introduce the next generation cast. Please welcome Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar, Isaac.
Yes!
Cześć. O, a ty to robisz, halo. Przecież się z Gwiezdnym Wojen, po co ona?
Ile memów, o
A
Boże.
kto to jest, ta różowa?
Ten duży, to kim jest ten duży?
Ten duży to pewnie Chewbacca.
O, możliwe.
Bo ten gościu, co grał wcześniej Chewbacca, to on już nie żyje. Oj, BB-8. Ja jestem ciekaw właśnie to wróżąc, to jakaś nowa postać. No i Rose oczywiście, Poe niepotrzebna, hek. Jak Poe, właśnie Poe dziś dawno się nie ten...
Oh my gosh.
Patrzę na to i...
I don't want to interrupt, but I will cheer this long too, but we got to get some questions. All right. Hey, everybody. Just because there was so much cheering, let's go over the names again. Daisy, John, Oscar, Kelly, Jonas, Naomi, and of course, BB over here. Naomi, you're the newest member of the crew here.
Hello. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, there's so many of you. Yeah, that's a lot.
Welcome to your
really
first
cool.
Star Wars celebration.
Yeah, man. I'm happy. I'm very ready to celebrate. I've been waiting for this. It's cool. Hi. Yeah.
Well, what's it like to get the call that you're going to be in the next Star Wars film? Like, where were you when you find out?
I was in bed. I got the call at like 7 o'clock in the morning. My best friend was sleeping downstairs, and my dad was in the house, and I like yelped. My dad ran up the stairs, and he just sat at the end of my bed, and he just had his hands like on his mouth, and I like open eye sobbed. I I was sobbing it, but then my best friend was sleeping downstairs and I couldn't tell nobody, so I had to just like, I went down and made a cup of tea and I was like, you're right, babe, everything's cool, like, yeah, just normal day. It was incredible. It's mind-blowing. This is mind-blowing.
What did your dad say when you told him?
My dad was telling me to shush because I was talking too loud on the phone. So he was more telling me to be quiet so that my best friend wouldn't hear. But so he knew from the beginning. Sorry, JJ. He knew from the,
so we don't know anything about your character yet.
No.
We don't know your character. We don't even know your character's name. Can she reveal the character's name?
Thank you. Her name is Jana. I can't.
Hello, Jana!
O kurde, dobra. To jest.
Już Michonne z The Walking Dead.
No właśnie, dobrze mówisz.
Yeah, man, that's wicked. I mean, all I can really say is like the original group are going on like this epic adventure together, and I'm like so excited about where Jana crosses paths with them. It's wicked, man. It's good.
No, I've been told that there are rumors on the internet that your character is Lando Calrissian's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go full Maury Povich on you right now. Is your father on this stage?
Listen. Lando is a very charming man, so he could have children all over the universe. That's all I'm saying. Am I right?
Now, before you did this part, your most famous role was playing Lady Macbeth.
Yeah.
Does Shakespeare help prepare you for space opera?
No, nothing. I don't think anything can prepare you for this. Actually, not any kind of training at all.
All right, John.
Yo.
Welcome back to Star Wars Celebration.
Thanks, dude.
Now, I know there's very little you can reveal.
As always.
So I will give you a choice. Either tell me what happens to Finn or try to explain Brexit to these people.
Wybierze drugą opcję, jestem tego pewien.
I'm gonna go with that Finn. But it's well, actually, hi guys. It's good to be back. It's amazing, Finn. Y'all see my colors? On this adventure, I think Finn has just found his footing and his identity within the Resistance. I think the last two movies, Finn couldn't decide where he belonged. And in this film, he's a full-fledged Resistance sexy young man, as you can see by the picture.
Is that a special division of the Resistance, sexy young men?
Honestly, at the beginning, full brigade. My big thing was costume. I always felt that Finn didn't have his identity through this costume. And JJ was like to me, you're gonna love this one. And I saw the blue pants coming out of the cupboard where Michael Kaplan was coming out with it, and I was just like, I'm in Star Wars now. So it's been great.
Now, Finn's enemy over the last two films has been Captain Phasma.
Yeah.
It seems like she died in The Last Jedi, but it also seems like she died in The Force Awakens.
Old news, she gone. Got rid of her.
Does Finn get any closure in this movie?
Emotional closure, you know. Sure, I mean, I don't think about her at night and stuff. But I definitely feel that there's some form of closure within who he identifies with, who is family, what is love, what is friendship, and that's what defines him in this movie. But Phasma, yeah, she did. She did.
Now,
Dobrze to potwierdzają, bo bym się załamał.
twice now?
Yeah.
Could Finn take Brienne of Tarth?
I'm not even going to meet her. I'm going to just shoot her from the building and be like, yeah, she's done. She's done. No, I don't think so.
Now, it seems like there might have been a little bit of a love triangle going on with Finn and Rey and Rose.
You add Poe there as well as a love triangle.
Bromance is real!
Very complicated. Very complicated. We've got a few aliens that have been looking at Finn a certain type of way, so I don't know if they want to add their names to the list. But yeah, it's a love pentagon, man. It's just, there's a lot going on.
Is Finn the galaxy's most eligible batch?
Mówiłem, że tak będzie. To są właśnie te dzisiejsze standardy wprowadzone do tych filmów.
Oscar, good to see you again.
Great to see you. What's up, Chicago?
Who?
Yeah!
No, naprawdę, tutaj to rośnięcie jak cholera.
I understand. Let's get to the heat of the meat right away. Who's a better pilot, Poe or Han Solo? Yeah.
Han Solo.
You did that, huh?
We're gonna go there.
You're doing that to me. There was so much goodwill a second ago. You just burned it in front of my eyes. All right, look, no one can pilot the Millennium Falcon like Han. Nobody. However, Poe is he can literally fly anything. I'm just saying Poe is the better Uber driver.
Okay. Oh my god.
Nathan Drake!
I don't know how I could
You guys like the scarf?
enjoy
Nice scarf,
this
right?
movie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I could enjoy this movie more than I'm enjoying watching you enjoy these photographs right now. That's a high bar. Now, you were born in Guatemala, raised in Miami.
Guatemala. Nice, Miami. 305. Cuban father, so Cuban and Guatemala.
Star Wars has been translated into every language on the planet. What's it like doing press around the world when you're able to speak to the Spanish-speaking press in their own language about the films? Like, how would you describe Poe or this film in Spanish?
Well, it's just like this, but in Spanish.
No shit.
Very similar.
Is Star Wars, forgive my ignorance, is Star Wars in Spanish or is
No, it's Star Wars.
Okay.
Oh, it's actually Guerra de las Galaxias is the other one.
Sorry, it's what?
Guerra de las Galaxias.
Which means?
Well, actually, I guess like War of the Galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's Bebocho. And your buddy is Arturito.
Arturito?
Little Arthur.
Now, Poe is always cracking a joke at the darkest moments. Whether it's taking on a dreadnought and an X-Wing or being interrogated at Kylo Ren. Is everything a joke to him? Why won't he take any of this seriously?
I think he takes his love for Finn very seriously.
The bromance is real.
Very seriously. He's a human, he has no real special powers. Yes, he's a great pilot, but deep down he's just a human, and I think one of the most human things you can do is find the irony and the humanity in even the most crazy, darkest moments. I think that is an element of the Force. Humor.
Poe was born into war. He was from Yavin 4, the planet the original Death Star tries to destroy in Episode 4. And his parents both fought the Empire. Let's say the war ends one day. What's Poe do after the war is over? What's his fault?
Uber seems like a good place to go. Space Uber? I don't know. It's true. He seeks a bit of that adrenaline, so he'll have to find it somewhere. Yeah.
Daisy Ridley.
Bromance is real. Ja wiedziałem od początku. Proszę.
Ale to będzie po prostu.
Make it happen.
Has...
Thank you! 27. Oh, thanks everyone!
Urodzinki ma dzisiaj, no proszę. No to happy birthday.
Ona mi strasznie przypomina w ogóle tą aktorkę, która gra Daenerys. Nie pamiętam jej imienia, ale przypomina mi właśnie bardzo.
No w ogóle. No w ogóle, no, dzięki tym Star Warsu to w tylu filmach już była. Czasami nie widzę co.
No fajna jest.
No tak, prawda.
Read the books she took from the tree library from Achto.
I mean, as we saw, those books are pretty large. She may have got started. How far through? Who knows? I don't know if we've talked about the portion of time it's been since the last one.
How long has it been since the last
yeah.
one, JJ?
Have we said? It's been a little while. So I guess she's getting through them.
No nie, znowu wracamy do patyka, już były miecze świetne i znowu patyk. No kurde, ja sobie idę tam i mam patyków takich, tak o.
Żeby to chodziło o to, żeby się inspirować.
Rey has crazy strong force powers now, but her lightsaber's in pieces. Is she rebuilding that lightsaber, or are we in a start from scratch situation here?
Well, my answer is not the end of the story, because there are many more months to come and a film to come. But the lightsaber that Rey inherited from Luke lives.
Okay.
Are there any, and I'm sure you can't tell me what they are there any new force powers that we were not aware of before that appear? For instance, we were thrown for a delightful loop on the force projection of Luke at the end of episode 8. Is there any new things that Rey is going to pull on us? Is she going to be able to pull down a Star Destroyer with her mind? Is she, can she force flow through time? Is there, you don't have to give us, but is there any new tricks?
This is a JJ question.
What are the tricks, JJ?
I think that's a yes. If you have to ask him.
No, I used to love Daisy. Loved her. Thought she was awesome. I'll say this. There are some extraordinary things that the character and Daisy did in this movie. And there she is now. And some of the things, obviously we don't want to say anything at this moment, but I will say that some of the stuff that happened was possible because we had the most incredible stunt coordinator. Eunice Hoodhart, who was just the greatest. And she did remarkable work with the entire cast and some of the things
tam mam miecz ciągle, tam widać było mieszana kina miała przy pasie.
A i co, tutaj też tak? To blaster.
Nie, tam było widać, a tutaj nie widać.
Daisy, what's up with Rey and Kylo Ren?
Kolejny romans. Będzie ten. Star Wars Love is in the air.
From your point of view, what's going on here?
A właśnie, nie dali Kylo, nie ma tego pana.
I guess the Kylo and Rey thing we'll have to wait and see. The Rose and Finn thing, I don't know. Finn? What do you think?
I mean, she my girl, my girl.
I guess
it's a nice chemistry. Just nice chemistry is all right. It's the middle of war. We're trying to figure ourselves out. We love you one day, don't love you the next. It's a very distracting place to fall in love.
I guess, Daisy, what I'm asking is, do you have any more Force visions of him semi-naked?
Of course.
Let's sell some tickets right now. Let's sell some tickets.
I think I can confirm there are no more semi-naked Kylos.
Nie pójdę, nie.
No to nie, to już koniec. Nie idziemy na to.
Nope, nie idzie.
Take it up a notch, guys.
Since Adam's not here, can I ask a question that anybody here might know? His chest in episode 8, did he wax? Because it's completely, is that a Brazilian? Why is there no, he's a big man, not one hair on his chest.
When he turned around, it was as surprising to the crew, I think, as to everyone. He's a big man. Yeah.
Okay.
Słuchajmy, epizod 8. Dał on nam Kylo bezpośrednio. Pena słonu.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Talk to me about his lightsaber. I'm just talking about. Okay. Kelly Marie Tran.
What are you doing? Just why? This is so wrong. What?
Właśnie jest jak brawa idą na niej.
Widzisz to?
No nieźle. Zobaczymy. Znaczy, ja nie mam nic przeciwko niej, nie chcę grać, nie zobaczymy co będzie w następnym epizodzie, ale Rose tam to tak średnio.
Może mi...
Znaczy,
The
dobra,
memes, the meme is real.
Nie no, oni to robią dlatego po prostu na hejt, który pewnie na nią i dlatego tak teraz wiesz, poszło to, no nie, ale...
It's really overwhelming. Hi, hello. Oh, thank you. Hi.
How are ya?
How's it going, everybody? Woo!
Now, let's talk about a little character preparation for this movie. You narrated the audiobook version of the novel that tells Rose's backstory, Cobalt Squadron.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did getting to know your character in book form give you more to bring into this film?
I had never done an audiobook before, and the thing I learned is that it's a very long process. But yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a lot of backstory with Rose and Paige, her older sister, so I think it definitely helped me in this upcoming one. Yeah.
As a trained mechanic, what do you think that Rose would think of the Millennium Falcon?
It's really cool.
But universally regarded as a hunk of junk.
Universally regarded. Everyone in that Resistance staff thinks it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah.
You kiss Finn again in this movie?
Woo. Listen, all I'm gonna say is Finn's a very eligible bachelor, much like John Boyega. I mean, sorry.
Don't cut that out.
Live it.
Is that a yes or a no? And please say yes. I hope you say yes, or I also have a lot of fan fiction that goes in the shredder at this point. Now, when last we saw your character, where was she?
She was in a coma. Yeah, asleep. Taking a rest. I would like to do that too.
Can you tell me, JJ, if everybody we see on stage right now ends up together in this film?
Can I tell you that?
Well, you say that they're going on this adventure together.
Yeah.
Does that include everyone we're seeing, including Kelly Marie?
I will say that. How dare you?
I am not your agent right now. I am their agent right now. I work for them, JJ.
I really appreciate that, Stephen. Way to pit me against my friends. I would say that you have to see what happens in the thing, but I will say that I was grateful to Rian Johnson for so many things that he did in 8. The greatest, though, the greatest for me was casting Kelly Marie.
Okay.
Hello, Jonas.
Hello. Can I say one thing? What's up?
No to go się też audio robi do tego.
Storybook for celebration, in case you didn't know.
Is your 4th time playing Chewie?
Yes, sir.
Are there any differences to the actual Chewie outfit that you're wearing, the actual Chewie costume?
I believe it has been this way since 1977. So, no. I mean, and I just want to say, can we get a big applause for my mentor, Mr. Peter Mayhew, at this point?
Właśnie, Peter Mayhew trochę nie żyje już parę lat, i on grał oryginalnie właśnie Chewbacca. Jakby ktoś nie wiedział.
If it wasn't for his unique physicality, I don't think Chewbacca would be as memorable, and I don't think we would be seeing him here today, anticipating his upcoming appearance in the film, because the character is just so beloved, and you guys have shown it with your T-shirts and the kind words all throughout these 5 incredible years that I've become this, transformed into this character, and I'm just so grateful for everyone who's been supportive. Let's go, Chewie!
Well, why do you... Well, Jonas, why do you think that Chewie is such a beloved character? What do you think? What does Chewie mean? Because we don't know what Chewie is saying. He's a presence. What do you think his presence means?
Well, I think for me, playing Chewbacca is sort of a duty at this point, because when I was sitting in our living room carpet, wide-eyed, watching the saga start, and Luke drinking that blue milk and seeing Chewbacca for the first time, I was sure that in this world there's a place for everyone, and that I have to show everyone that Chewbacca, and no matter how big or small you are, there's a place for you in this world, and that's what I believe.
Oh yeah, jakiś.
And finally, Jonas, what do porgs taste like?
They taste best fried.
I want to know what it was like shooting in Jordan. What was it like to be out there for all, this is a question for any of you. What was it like to be out there in that desert? Anthony, compare that to Tunisia. What was Jordan like compared to Tunisia?
Jordan was a truly remarkable experience. The first day driving out there on the set, it was my wife, Christine, who said, "But this is Ralph McQuarrie's painting. The backdrops, those stone fascias that you're looking at." And I would get goosebumps every day we drove out 45 minutes from the hotel. And it was, oh, it sounds corny, it was beyond a privilege to be there. And remarkably, the desert put up with us. Every day it tried to gain itself back to cover the roads that had been built to put us in, to say goodbye, no, enough, leave us alone. It was the most astounding setting to be in. And the Jordanian people, the Jordanian army, everybody there really were part of our kind of family. It was a glorious experience.
Kathy and JJ, how long were you guys?
Jasne, to nawet nie wiadomo, czy będzie, ale pewnie na sam koniec.
Actually, we had a crew there prepping for months prior to us arriving, and then we shot for about 3 weeks.
Where's the nearest bar, JJ?
No, Stephen, we were working. It was an amazing thing, and we had hundreds of people in unbelievable costumes that Michael Kaplan designed. We had incredible creatures that Neil Scanlon and his team designed. So to be there with literally hundreds of people and in the heat of it, and having to take, food breaks and bathroom breaks and prayer breaks, and it was a whole thing. But we got through it and actually finished a day ahead of schedule, which was kind of incredible.
And sandstorm breaks. Remember that? There'd be times when you'd see these big, huge red clouds coming over. We'd be in the middle of shooting, and everyone would have to take cover and go into tents and sometimes wait an hour or so for these huge sandstorms to blow over. Never thought I'd be in that.
We saw a couple of creature designs just now. Can you tell us who they are, or can you show us, are there any other creatures that you can show us?
There's a fun character who just appears, whose name is Claude with a K, K-L-A-U-D, and he is a friend of the Resistance and someone who actually, it turns out, Chewie brought into the...
Wielki ślimak.
There's Greg Rubber.
No mówię, wielki ślimak. Taki trochę mniejszy Jabba.
But there are so many...
Co jacyś tam kuzyni chatów pewnie.
I felt like it had been... There was no way to top what had been created in terms of creatures. When you see this movie, you'll see that Neil and the whole creature team did it. It's an incredible thing what they've made, what they built, and the actors who performed them and puppeteered them. It was remarkable.
Can I just say, there's one particular creature roaming around on set that I really thought that was wonderfully made. And it was my son who got to visit the set, and I'm just kidding. And it was so lovely working on this film after becoming a father, to have my son, that's my son right there. And if you see the wonder, and he's not afraid of Chewbacca, he had a good time with this cast, and especially Daisy. Thank you so much for all the cast, for welcoming little Atos, whose name nobody can pronounce, just like mine, to this Star Wars experience. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you.
Nice.
No, at the risk of pandering, Star Wars fans are the greatest fans in the world. And I know because I am one of them. I've been a Star Wars fan 3 weeks longer than any of you, and you can look up online why that's true.
That is true.
It's true. What'd you say? I would love to tell the story. It's my story, BB-8.
Give him 1 second.
Yes. This is very quickly the story. So when I was in 1977, when I was 13 years old, local radio station was giving away tickets to this movie called Star Wars. Nobody knew what it was. And me and my friends called in. We were like the 8th caller, and we got 4 tickets to go see Star Wars. Big blue tickets that you had to go to the local radio station to pick up, WTMA, 1250 on your AM dial. And it was me, Keith Sargey, Haskell Fudenberg, and Haskell Fudenberg's mom, because somebody had to drive. And we handed the tickets in. We said, can we keep the tickets as we went in? Because we didn't know what it was, but it felt like it was special, because they were big tickets, and it had the Death Star, and it had like an X-Wing fighter sweeping up like that. And it said Star Wars, and what the hell was Star Wars? And we walked in, we sat down, and as soon as, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, it came on the screen, we got chills, because we knew that, A, that was a unique way to look at science fiction, the future through the past. And also, it immediately set you in that fairy tale world. And then, of course, ba-da-dan! And no one knew what the hell was going on, and everyone cheered in the room. We didn't know what we were in for. And then 2 hours later, we woke up Haskell's mom and said, the movie's over. She didn't like the flashy lights. And we got in the car, went home, and it was a full moon. And I know it was 3 weeks before because there was a full moon, and we all thought it was the Death Star following us as we went home. And on Monday, when I got to school, we couldn't explain to anybody how everything was different now, and that we had seen the future. So anyway, that's why I've been a fan 3 weeks longer than all of y'all. So, but I'm sorry, BB, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I know you. I think he's got something to say. Is there?
Sure. In this movie, BB-8 has a new friend. Would you guys want to meet him?
Nie. To i BB-8 będzie miał może romans, albo normalny romans.
This is Dio.
Świetnie, stożek z antenkami.
Dio?
Dio chyba, no.
Dio to był android Aiden w Battlefroncie 2. Miał na imię Dio. Nie ten taki latający na plecach. To nie jest on, to jest coś innego.
Yeah, this is Dio.
Dio.
No kurwa, tak samo.
This is yet another incredible
Co to kurwa jest?
collaboration and creation of Neil Scanlon and the creature and robotics.
Megafon na kółku.
O właśnie, no megafon na kółku, tak. Dobrze powiedziane. Zajebiście.
Ja rozumiem, że już wiele zostało stworzone w tych Star
Ale
Wars,
patrz, ale on jedzie, on jest w stanie, wiesz, to jakby trzymać, zajebiste.
No, jak przeszliśmy z tego, pokazuję na Artu, do tego. Excuse me.
Miniaturyzacja. On jest pewnie mądrzejszy od Artu.
Celebration last time. These were different designs that we went through working on him. But like with Celebration last time when on episode 7, when BB-8 rolled out and we've never had BB-8 roll out. It's amazing what Celebration makes these geniuses do and force them to do. So this is really was built for you.
Well, but before we're done here, I got one more question for you, JJ. Can we please show our appreciation to JJ and Kathy and to the entire cast of Episode 9 for being here.
Ach, te mieczyki. No kurwa, to jak wygląda tak mieczem wyświetlają, że są tego, z widowni. No to dobra, zaraz trailer. Dawaj, kurwa. Give us the shit. No i trolują, da to na pewno.
But JJ, before any of you leave, is there anything else?
Zobaczcie, powiedzą, mam dla was plakat!
I think I know what they want.
By any chance, by any stretch of the imagination, is there anything else you would like to share with the audience?
Who here wants to see a teaser trailer? Okay, before we do this, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Stephen Colbert.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much. This is so fun.
Kathy, Anthony, Billy, Daisy, John, Oscar, Kelly, Jonas, Naomi. We're going to get out of your way, but mostly, thank you so much. Hope you enjoy. Cheers.
No dobra, to uwaga, lecimy. Wołajcie kolegów.
We've passed on all we know. 1,000 generations live in you now. But this is your fight.
Nie wskrzeszamy takich ludzi, no nie! A to była Gwiazda Śmierci i pan Putin gdzie żyje, o ja
Pan Putin, on gdzieś musi jakby...
Who are you?
Oh my god, The Rise of Skywalker. Tylko ten gość, co go gra.
Hello. Kurwa, no się przymierzył.
Roll it again.
Jeszcze raz, cicho, jeszcze raz. Słuchajmy się, no dalej. Kurwa.
Co do chuja, co? Stop.
I znowu się zaczyna od heavy breathing. Oni lubią tak heavy breathing na początku.
Zauważ, że ten miecz jest jakoś taki modyfikowany trochę, jakby rączka jest taka jakby zrobiona teraz.
No i będzie się na pewno napierdalała z Redem. O kurwa, będzie miecz świetlny versus ten.
I fajkę.
No czekaj, teraz trzeba się skupiam na ujęciach, trzeba bardziej...
Kajlu naprawia maskę, proszę, niech wyjmuś maska płata. Bo to jest...
No, to jest taki sos, no. No to chyba to nagrywam, teraz tu jakaś bitwa będzie wielka.
No to naprawia maskę.
To jakby... No, ale... Nie wiem. Oni na pewno będzie jakiś 4. I ten... Wrak Gwiazdy Śmierci. I kurwa Palputen. Dlaczego Palputen? Jak to się stało? Ktoś tam powiedział, to Jezus Maria. No nie wiem.
Ale ten tytuł trochę mi nie leży, Rise of the Skywalker.
No nie, Rise of... Ciekawe, czemu Rise of Skywalker?
No bo wiesz, bo koniec sagi Skywalkera, to fajnie byłoby mieć do tego Skywalkera w tytule.
No. To kurwa, ja mam taką teorię.
Zobaczcie, czy
ja mam taką teorię, że zaraz się okaże, że jest córeczką Palputena.
Ale słuchaj, właśnie, bo w ogóle zostały jeszcze jakieś Skywalkerzy? Żyją?
No jakby, nie tacy, o których wiemy.
O. Ty. Rey Skywalker? Coś?
Rey Palputen. Ale a nie, czekaj. O kurwa, ty, to ma sens. Bo w sumie chyba coś miało być, coś tak mi się kojarzy, że było potwierdzone coś takiego, że w jakiejś książce z tym komiksie, że to Palputen zrobił Anakina mocą. Czyli jakby wychodziłoby na to, że Palputen to będzie nie. Nie, to będzie, no tak, pradziadek. Tak jakby.
Ja pierdolę. O Boże. Ja am Eric Voss. No.
Kurwa mać! Pierdolę Palputen, no nie wierzę. Kurwa, nie wierzę, o, skończyło się.
That's a no.
Czemu kurwa taka świnka Pepa się pokazała, o chuj chodzi?
Ja nie rozumiem. Ja nie wiem.
Pojebane. Kurwa, pojebane, ja pierdolę.
Co jest? Weź tu, I'm Han Solo.
Na rozluźnienie.
Bo nie wiem.
A, tylko chwilę, muszę ściągnąć filtry, żeby nie było za głośno. Oh my god.
O chuj.
Palputen.
A no Palputen.
Kończymy? A nie, kurwa.
Ja pierdolę.
No. Teraz czekamy do grudnia. Dobra, robimy w takim razie przerwę. Ja za chwilę wracam, nie wiem czy ty wracasz dzisiaj, później na te VR-y.
Nie, na VR nie wracam.
Dobra, czyli ty pewnie będziesz dopiero na Fallen Order jutro.
To na pewno. Jestem sobie najbardziej jestem podjarany na Fallen Order.
No, Fallen Order.
Naprawdę,
no.
ja w tej grze trzymam całe swoje serce.
Bo jeżeli ten plot się potwierdzi, to jest taka naprawdę liniowa, kurwa, korytarzowa gra, to ja będę
Ja pierdolę, jak ja będę szczęśliwy. O Jezus Maria. I jeśli EA w końcu kurwa zmądrzało i się nie będzie wpierdalało na Respawna, bo Respawn to jest naprawdę dobra firma.
Właśnie, no.
Oni potrafią robić gry,
ja
naprawdę.
Że moim zdaniem tracą, że są pod skrzydłami jej.
Tak, to też jest
bo na
prawda.
przykład teraz już są jakieś ploty, że przecież Dragon Age pójdzie w formułę trochę kurwa MMO, będą jakieś elementy multiplayerowe w Dragon Age'u i to...
No, to się też...
Coś jak,
mimo,
coś
że
jak
nie gramy w Dragon Age'a, to i tak.
No ja grałem, no jedyneczka to była gra.
Tak. No jest...
To co, do zobaczenia za chwilę ze mną, ja palam Gwinta, trochę pogramy w Gwinta. Tak z godzinę i później o 20:30, o ile się nie mylę, nie mam zapisanego. W każdym razie, dobra, reveal trailera 9 epizodu już za nami. Kasujemy z listy. Dziękujemy chyba oglądać.
Chyba tak.
Tak. To co, to ja wracam za chwilę, posłuchajcie sobie jeszcze Hanna Solo do koniec. Będzie koniec streamu i za jakieś 5 minut odpalam streama z Gwinta, żeby też był jako oddzielny zapis, także dzięki wszystkim, którzy minęli, tam gdzieś w piku to z 8 osób chyba było, także dzięki wszystkim, którzy oglądali, dzięki wszystkim, którzy obejrzał jako zapis na YouTubie. Dajcie znać, co myślicie o tym epizodzie, o tym, przede wszystkim o Palputenie, bo jestem bardzo ciekaw reakcji, bo dla mnie to trochę już... Trochę mi się to szczerze nie podoba, bo zaraz to będzie kurwa wałkowanie, to będzie taki kurwa Infinite Loop, że po prostu tam kurwa... Ryan Johnson zrobił coś, co było fajne, że wprowadził coś, co nie jest kurwa loopem. Jakby trochę historii, a tutaj
ale
nagle...
o to w tym chodzi, że to ma być taki loop, no to jest nowe.
No wiem, ale jakoś mi to nie leży, no bym chciał coś nowego, no fajnie uśmiercili tego kurwa
No to
Snoke'a,
tego masz historię, jak chcesz.
Dobra, dzięki w każdym razie za uwagę.
Ja również dziękuję
no
wszystkim.
I do zobaczenia ze mną za chwilę, z Bogdanem jutro, także pa.